doesn't know anyone. He does know people here, but he doesn't know the language.
Okay, someone isn't muted, so can you all check that you're muted? Okay. All right, so I'll start now. So this is our first meeting of 2024. In fact, it's our last meeting of 2023, but as usual, to circumvent the celebrations, we move our December meeting to the first week of January. So agenda is a welcome address from me, which as usual will be pretty quick. And then we move on to Mr. Bernard Sinniah, who is well known to many, perhaps a new introduction to a few. For the benefit of those who are watching this for the first time, I will go over the objective. The club will facilitate, foster and support social intercourse and fellowship among its members. It will build a network of members and non-members that can work together to promote the economic development of the Northern Province. The club is a catalyst to help people like us connect with each other, to help people like us connect with Northern entrepreneurs and business opportunities. So the reason I say it's a catalyst is the club doesn't do any investments, it doesn't raise funds, it doesn't make donations, it connects people who may be able to do that directly. So we've had speakers, our first meeting was in September 2020, and our speakers since that time, so I'll page through this gently so people can see the sort of speakers we've had. We've had a wide range from tourism, from agriculture, from bakeries, small entrepreneurs. We've had the previous governor. We have had educationalist, Professor Alex Thurvarajan. And from the Northern Province Tourism Bureau, Suresh Murugesa, of lawyers. And our previous meeting was with the Nulaham Foundation, which provides a vital service digitizing Tamil literature and other media. So now, today's speaker is Bernard Sinniah, known as Sinna. So, Sinna, shall I let you take over the screen? I can confirm we have Australia, Peter and Kurt.
Can you see my screen?
Yes,
slides?
we can. Yeah.
Okay. So shall I take it over, Jagan? No.
Please do. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for giving me the this opportunity. Jagan and I, we know each other for a long time, and this is an idea that has been there for some time, and now we are in a very advanced stage to implement it in Jaffna. Let me begin by wishing everyone the best for 24. I hope this year brings you a lot better news than last year. The Flag Forum is based on a need that basically what I experienced in my life. So let me take you through it. As you all know, or some of you would know, I studied in Jaffna at St. John's College, Jaffna, and then when I left Jaffna, I did not get the opportunity to go to university simply because I was not good enough, and also, I did not participate or play cricket or any other big sports to be well known. So when I left Jaffna to Colombo, because where can I please ask everyone to put it on mute? I hope you guys can hear me. Yeah. So
let's count to Memphis.
Yeah, when I left Jaffna and was going to Colombo, I felt like a real loser and a failure in life, simply because I felt that as I told you before, I didn't study well or play any sport well. Those days that even reflect whether you even have a girlfriend or not. I just felt really down when I went to Colombo. And especially feeling that I let my parents down as well. So I was really suffering inside myself. But when I went to Colombo, and we were living down Havelock Town, I felt that I have a lot more challenges than what I was feeling inside. Apart from, really feeling down and really not knowing where to go, I lacked really communication skills. We used to play down the lane. I couldn't communicate properly, partly because of my lack of, knowledge of English. But various other things, when to talk, simple things like I didn't know there was something called deodorant, for example, until someone said, Sinna, you seem to be smelling a bit. So, feeling a bit of, because I did not know the language properly and had the confidence to talk, I felt inferior or a sense of inferiority compared to other people who were with me. So when I look back at that time, I can box these gaps in my life into three things. Character, which is what I would call what happens inside myself, the personality, the communication skills and the etiquette, and then of course the proficiency in English. So because of that, I felt that I was inferior to other people who had come from schools like, not to put these schools up in the pedestal, but people like Royal, St. Thomas's or Trinity or any other Colombo schools. And I remember going for an interview at Aiken Spence, and the guy asked me a question. I knew the answer, but I did not know how to frame it properly, and I did not even have the confidence to speak properly. And of course, I did not get the job at Aiken Spence. But I truly believe that we can help people who leave school with these three areas: the character, the personality, and English. And so that when they go into to face an interview, or to go to college or uni, or go abroad, or even start their own business, if we can build these three components prior to getting there, then I think they will be able, or they will perform and deliver as well as any other person in Sri Lanka. So how do we do it? These are some of the areas that I have picked. This is not anything, it's not complete. So to build your character, right, we need to help them to understand how to face challenges, how to be energetic, how to be ambitious, how to have goals, how to create a path towards the goal, where the execution seems to be a big challenge among the youth. On the personality side, we can help them to understand how they need to understand other people, including culture. How do you communicate? Personal hygiene, etiquette, values, money management, right? Business management. We can teach all that. And on the English side, or the proficiency in English, right? We have to teach them how to speak. Now, I know when you say speak, well, it's not a big deal, but speaking in a casual sense, or speaking in a professional level, or speaking with friends, they all have different ways we need to do that, and we need to be taught. Because when I left St. John's, if you ask my friends, they will say, Chinna, Majan, you are very good in English. I did English just to pass the exam, right? But when I came to the bank also, I struggled because I didn't know how to present at different at the different stages or different times when I was working. Written English, public speaking again is a very important thing, and confidence. We know that English, if you have a lot of confidence, you will try speaking English. And when you try speaking English, you will become better at it, and then your confidence will grow from that. So it's a connected factor. Right? I always look at someone like Lasith Malinga, who is a cricketer, and when he speaks, even maybe we can say, okay, his English is not polished and this and that, but he has confidence. He will answer the question, and people understand what he is saying. Right? I lacked confidence at that time because I was worried that I might make a mistake, or my friend will say, Chinna, Majan, what is this? What kind of English you are talking? Or you're making a mistake here, right? People joke at you. So the confidence was not there. So the reason that we are saying this is, sorry, when I say I mean the Flag Forum, the people who are involved with the Flag Forum. We believe that these things can be taught. But if you allow these people to go into a job and then build on these things, or go to uni, and I have spoken to so many of my friends who went to uni in the late 70s, they all face these challenges. We need to do it way before they get to into the real world. So that is what Flag Forum is about. We are going to help a selected number of people, and I'll come to that, to develop their character, and they already will have some personality, and enhance their personality and make them proficient in English. So the program is, we have all, I'm really sorry because some of you guys who are on this call have seen this and have been tremendously supportive of this initiative, and I'm eternally grateful for all that. So I'm repeating this here, but I think it's worth saying it. We have found a location in Jaffna in October. We are going to have 24 participants. So as you can see, we are not using the word students. They are going to be participants. There'll be 12 boys and 12 girls, and we are aiming at school levels, either at O levels or at A levels. Fee of 10,000 rupees per term, so there'll be 3 terms, but it will be refunded at the end of the course. So that means this whole program is a donor-funded program. There will be no examinations, because sometimes we just study for the examination and try to get the certificate and show that we are done. There will be a certificate of completion based on physical attendance and assignments, but also contribution to the community, right? So we will have program as we go along to making sure that they will contribute to the community. And we have hired 3 facilitators, and we have hired, or we have been lucky to have 2 volunteers from UK. One gentleman is already on this call, Alex Finch, and his wife, Sugeta Kanagasabe, who was born and bred in Sri Lanka, but when she was in her late teens, went to UK. She studied that, and both of them have, within them, have 7 years experience in teaching. So they are joining us as volunteers for 1 year. We are going to encourage, this is a 1-year program, right? So they will be inside this bubble for 5 days a week for 1 year. And this year, because of the A-level exams are delayed, we will be starting on the 1st of March, and we will aim to finish December 24. So it's about 9 to 10 months. And next year will be February to December, right? And we are been lucky with some of the corporates in Sri Lanka who are keen to help us by giving internship for the participants. So you can see the words. I just want to sort of restate that participants and facilitators. Even the facilitators will be learning on this journey, right? Because this is the curriculum that we have developed here. It's based on various input that I and the other members have got, but it is almost mirroring the curriculum that is followed in Tea Leaf Trust in Muscalia, Norelia, Bogwan, where over 250 students are participating. And as some of you know, how the estate workers are treated and they, in what conditions they live. And they go through this, and this has been going on for about 10 or 12 years. And one of the person who was passed out of that program is today a sub-inspector of police in Sri Lanka, which may not look like a big achievement, but it is a massive achievement when you are coming from that part of Sri Lanka. This timeline, don't ignore the colors, but the location has been selected, the facilitators identified, the training program with Tea Leaf Trust is going to happen in the next 2 weeks. The curriculum is finalized. On the 15th of November, we started the facilitators training. And we have now actively promoting it on the all the social media. And today there is a small announcement on the newspaper. And the house is completely now furnished and it's now operating. So all what is left now is to get participant enrolled. We have been hampered by this A-level exam that's happening right now, but we have about 4 to 6 participants already shown very good interest and will join us. And I'm very confident that we'll hit the number 24 by end of January or middle of February, and then we will start on the 1st of March. We are welcoming the participants and the families. And then on the 4th of March, we are starting the program. So the whole program is going to cost us US dollars 93,147, which includes, you can see the rupee breakdown. I am giving 15,000 US upfront for the initial expenses and everything. We have been, in rupee terms, we have now got close to 10 million rupees already in the account. And there have been some pledges that have come. We are around close to 16 to 18 million rupees already pledged or in the account. So we are almost there, because I think first year will be a year of learning, but also it's a year that people will get to know us and what we are doing, because committing for 1 year after A-levels is not easy, and I totally acknowledge that. But I have been personally involved in giving motivational speeches, and I know there are some English courses. And we really don't know what happens after that motivational speech. All these people who are going for English courses, they, I did interview so many people for facilitators, and I was struggling. So people who are going for these courses are just going for the course, getting 1 hour a week or 1 hour every other day, and then they're back into their own way of talking, mostly in Tamil and things like that. But as I explained before, the character and the personality and the proficiency in English all go hand in hand. That's when you create a really good level of a person being ready for employment or employability. Then that's when we will know whether we are actually being successful in this project. More than, of course, donations are welcome, but I also would like you to, if you have businesses in Sri Lanka, help us to give these guys an opportunity to come and work for 1 month and show how, what they are about. And if they do very well, then of course you can offer them an employment. And we have, so this, the technical word for this flag forum is a guarantee limited. So the flag forum guarantee limited, meaning the donations have to be only used for the mentioned goals and objectives. And so that's how we are doing it. And Priyanka Mendis and myself are the directors, but we have a supervisory board so that, Sayanthan has been very kind to be there and, helping us guide to move forward. Yeah, so it's very exciting times. I'm not saying this is not without any challenges. There are a lot of people asking a lot of questions about why 1 year, you are having full time and things like that. I totally appreciate that concern. However, if you don't really keep them for a period of time and really make them speak English day in, day out, build their personality and the character, we will not complete, or we will not achieve what we set out to achieve. So we are completely committed, and some of the people on this call have been very helpful as well as supportive. So yeah, we are excited, and we are building this from March 1st. So that's all I got to say. If anyone wants to ask any questions or any comments or any views, please go ahead.
Jagan, can I ask a question? Yeah, here.
Jagan, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Yes, Thea, please go ahead.
Sinna, yeah, I have the advantage of having seen this before, but just a couple of clarifications. On the internship itself, will it start from day one, or will it start somewhere during the course of the 12 months? And if so, also, I presume the bulk of these, all these people, 24 will be selected from the Northern Province, I presume. So is the internship opportunity expected to be from companies or entities operating in the North? Just for some clarity.
The first question is about the timing. So it will be somewhere, I think the way we are developing this curriculum, it will be called phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. I think somewhere around in this year will be somewhere around August, September is what we are thinking, right? Or not we are thinking, that's what we will get to. Second thing is that the timetable of this flag forum, again, don't hold on to me, but Monday and Tuesday will be almost similar timetable. Thursday and Friday are similar timetable. And Wednesdays, we are going to keep it very loose. And one of the things we will do on Wednesday will be career guidance, right? So we are inviting, again, we will invite people to come and give a talk, but also a formalized career guidance. Because one of the things that we need to figure out is because, I don't know about you all, but when I studied, it's actually either physics, chemistry, applied pure, or physics, chemistry, botany, zoo, right? And then you had other commerce subject in St. John's that was not pushed that much. So, I don't know whether I could have been a good carpenter or a good musician or a good banker or whatever it is at that time. So we want to see whether we can get some career guidance from day one, so people can sit and think about what they want to do as we proceed. With regards to where we want to have the internship, so there have been the people that I have approached so far with some of your help is people who have offices in Jaffna as well as in Colombo, and I've spoken to them. If there are one or two people who are very good that they want them to come to Colombo, then we need to see whether we can fund it. We have to somehow fund it and get them to Colombo for a month or a few weeks if they do well in the first place they go to.
Okay, thank you, Sinna. A quick question from me. I'm going to take advantage of my position as
Chairman.
Teaching any professional skills. So, for instance, like programming or like running an ERP, accounting, basic accounting skills.
So, Jagan, this is a very good question, whether vocational training or professional skills are going to be part of it. The challenge with this is then we are assuming what we think they need and we are giving, rather than we get to know what they actually need and then guide them towards it, right? So therefore, what this particular program is not about getting you a job. It's about preparing you to go to a job, preparing you to go to uni, preparing you to go overseas or start a business, right? So the first 2 weeks of the program, there's an intensive English program, it's called IEP, where we will use activity-based learning of English, right? English means spoken English. What is your name? When I go to a shop, what do I ask? So we'll set up a small shop and all these things. Then after that, there are pipes that are coming in. So one of the pipes is grammar, for example. One of the pipes is entrepreneurship. I'm throwing, it's not in any particular order, right? Entrepreneurship. One of the things is values, etiquette, and ethics, right? So one of the things will be personal management, like example, money management, and so that can come under careers and entrepreneurship as well, right? So these pipes are coming, and hopefully, as we move along, we will realize, and they will realize, and that's the important thing, that what they want to do, right? And that's where the career guidance will come in, and we will then get them there, right? If we do, for example, like, okay, we are going to connect this to a hotel school or something like that, then what happens is all these people, their head will go towards that, right? And then they may be good at selling potatoes, right? So then they get all, I'm in flat forum, I paid 30,000, I need to be successful, therefore let me only go to this. So this is a sort of a balance that we need to make. However, going forward later on, we will have, I think we will clearly figure out, okay, we will need a hotel school connection, or we will need a tech college or IT. IT is one of the pipes as well, for example, right? So we will do that as we go along.
Yeah. Now, Lasantha's got his hand up, but so Lasantha, you have the next question. But I know that there are a number of people on this call who've been training young people in Jaffna. For fear of missing out one of them, I won't give names, but I will actually. So, for instance, Anand, Arnie Arnold at BBK. And there are 2 or 3 here. I think it's very important to hear your experience. Lasanta, please go ahead.
Hi, Sinna.
Hi, Lasan.
Thanks for the talk. Congratulations. Sinna, I think it's a brilliant initiative, and both Jagan and I used to serve on a committee that was set up by the previous governor, and that was poverty alleviation and employment creation. And one of the tasks was to, find employment and also guide this youth, in the correct way. So into their correct vocation and path and so on and so forth, which you are trying to do. So my thing is, I would be really happy, to get involved at some stage with you, because for the simple reason that we are trying to anyway take that concept, because that is for the entire northern province and to all the divisions. So if there is a way of getting in touch, because for the purpose of replicating it in other places, because this is definitely a very good thing which the northern province really needs. So if you can link me up with somebody locally, that would be great, Sinna. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you. Just to give some experience, Jagan, right now, sometimes you would say, is this really needed, right? Now, let me just give you some example. We had 22 participants applying like this, right? And when you call them, they don't call back, right? Or when you write an email, they don't reply. So we need to continue to do it. And then after that, we have selected 5. The reason I'm saying it is, this is simple etiquette that is missing, right? If I get a telephone call and I applied for this, I'm getting a telephone call and I don't call back, or I don't reply the email. So it shows that for me, it is not a problem. It is an opportunity here to help these people to understand that, if you go to a business meeting and you get an email, you got to reply, right? And that's, it is the way they are grown up. So it's not that they are they are purposely doing it. So we have to teach this, right?
Yes.
Communication, even from top to bottom in Jaffna, sadly, is shocking.
No, I think that's true across Sri Lanka. So when I've tried to speak to some service provider, whether it's in law or banking, or it's very, very poor. I think that one thing about keeping the attention of young people is to give them variety. And I know Alex because he's someone who's volunteered to join with you. He has many years' experience teaching young people in the UK. And I have a small number of years' experience. Just before I moved back to Jaffna in 2015, for a small number, for about 4 years, I was teaching secondary school math in the UK. So holding the young people's attention is a big challenge, and keeping your guys for a whole year with maybe with a small staff would be a challenge. But Alex could tell you more about that than I can. Now we have Anand and Arnold, and Jiva. So Anand, if you speak first, and then Jiva, if you take a question.
First of all, Bernie, Sinna, thank you. Congratulations. I believe that it's definitely a needed service in Jaffna, because we come across a lot of CVs. And just as you mentioned, people come and drop CVs. And when we send them an email, they don't reply. I had that experience as well. And then we have to chase after the staff and empower them. And, like I could be one of your service users in Jaffna. So I said, let's have a coffee one day, and I would like to have a
Yeah.
coffee to see how we can modulate, empowering our staff who are capable, ambitious, but unable to deliver certain parts. We've just now opened another facility in UAE, in Dubai. We can, on a rotation basis, the excellent people sent to Dubai for about 3 months and bring them back to Jaffna. We have been sending kids to UK and bring them back to Jaffna. We've been sending kids to Malta and bringing them back to Jaffna with a good friend of mine, Pavan and David Borg. We have trained almost 6 students from Jaffna to go to live in Malta and come back to Jaffna, and they're doing well. But it's very rare commodity. Let's say we've come across 250 kids, only 5 out of 250, let's say 6 out of 250 were capable of going to Malta and coming back to Jaffna, which is a bit of a sad indictment of the current talent pool and the ability, the communication skill, the personality, and the soft skills. So what you're doing is amazing. Hats off to you for your perseverance, and I'm your fan always, and this definitely will tap on your services for our staff.
Thanks, Anand.
So Jiva, would you like to? You're muted,
Jiva, you're
Jiva.
muted.
Unmuted. Okay. Yes, Sinna, thanks. We've been chatting about this for some time, and congratulations, it's finally taking off. Very quickly, I just wanted to, one is, why are we focusing more on the A levels, advanced level students, rather than say maybe for graduates? So that's one question that I have for you, because there many are graduates, also undergraduates graduate, and they are they're left in limbo, and this could be something that even mature students could actually take advantage of. That's question number one. And number two is key indicators of success. It's probably more to Alex, who's going to be the tutor, but we know English speaking abilities. Okay, you can get to certain grade level. Are you going to get them to an IELTS level or whatever? But how after 8 months, 9 months, are we going to be able to judge these students, give a report card and say, okay, the person has character? How are we going to judge that? How are we going to judge personality, communications, etc.? So that, we can, this is more for us trying to connect them to the corporate world or other private sector, saying, well, at the end of this person is going to be able to do A, B, and C. So these two questions. Thanks.
Okay, great question, Jiva. And I will also ask Alex also to come in. First of all, we are opening it, we are saying school leavers because of the, because we're saying, these are the people who have to go to uni or go and find a job or want to go abroad or want to start a business, right? So they have some time to dedicate themselves to the FLAG forum. So if he's a graduate, he may want to get a job immediately, and therefore he may not want to commit for 1 year full time on, or not 1 year. In this case, this year it's going to be 9 months full time on FLAG forum, right? So that's why. But what we did is we are asking for people between 16 and 25, right? So we really don't. We also very conscious that we don't want this Chundukuli, Nellore kind of people, right? So we are now going throughout Jaffna or outside Jaffna, because anyone is welcome here. Because that's a belief I personally do have. We can help these guys to become better, right? And make them employable, right? So therefore, we are reaching out, and in our constitution, or we have made it very clear that we are completely against any social bias and gender bias and privilege or underprivilege, right? And any sexuality, all that is out of this FLAG forum. We are reaching out to everyone, and we are deliberately going out as we speak to various community centers, right? Don't say, I wouldn't say 10 out of 10 we have done that, but I would say 4 out of 10 we are there. We are going to community centers and, putting posters and talking to them and things like that. Tomorrow we will be going to the Muslim Mahavidyalaya to speak to them and see whether any A levels. So, we have to be patient to build these first 24 people. With regards to the, what are the KPIs, or what does success mean? Or how do we evaluate success? There are a few ways to do it, but one of the things we are doing is surveying the participants and making sure that, as they progress, that they realize that they are progressing on it, right? The second thing is the employability, right? Based on what we build them, whether they're going to internship and, whether they can be employed. And finally, whether they actually, we will follow through after they leave the program and see what they do and figure out whether what we did has helped them to become employed, or they have gone to uni and they are saying, this has helped. So it's going to be very survey driven. I haven't still come to a point where I can put some a quantitative method of saying, okay, we have progressed and this and that, but we are working on this. Alex, if you want to add something to that, Alex.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, interesting question. I think, I mean, on my background, I like Jeffna, was a maths teacher, and I taught economics at A level as well. So I know something about testing. I don't know as much about the specific tests for English as a foreign language.
One foreigner.
Sorry?
No, that's someone's. Can you mute, guys? Yeah. Go ahead.
So yeah, as I was saying, I'm not. I don't know about all the English as a foreign language tests you can do. I think. I mean, talking from my experience as a teacher, exams can be very misleading, in particular because you often get very nervous students. You often get very students just not being able to represent what they've learned. We had someone come into the Flag Forum on one of the interview days recently, and it was the mother of somebody who, well, actually the mother was interested in her daughter attending, and she said, my daughter's very good at English, she's very good at French even, but she's so shy she won't speak a word of it. So I think about someone like that, and that person might shine in a written exam, but then still not be able to speak, to their friends or in a business situation. So it can be really difficult to accurately measure someone's progress. I mean, this is something that we're currently in the progress of deciding on, but I would like to have a really holistic way of measuring progress. So it could be based on a self-assessment by the students. It could also be based on, us as facilitators, how much progress do we think they've made? I would like to have some kind of assessment involved. I wouldn't want to call it an exam, maybe something like a progress check, but something which takes into account various different aspects of English learning. So reading, written and speaking, and maybe even confidence, projection, eloquence, all of these different aspects of English, because when you do a written exam, you just can't gauge all of that at once. So that's what I would say.
Other thing is, Jiva, we also going to encourage and demand that we contribute to the community, right? So we are going to tie up with the local schools outside the so-called Jaffna area and see whether we can go and teach in that school and help the other children to learn, especially the IEP, the Intensive English Program, that can be replicated or repeated all over Northern Province to start with, because it's easy to do it, because it's all activity based. We also have an idea that we are on Nallur Crossroad, that we are going to adopt Nallur Crossroad and make sure that every Wednesday or every other day we go and we want to pick the paper that's on the road there, right? Just to clean the road, just to show that these things are super important for our life and our values and our contribution. So there are a lot of things we are going to, a lot of activity, this will be a lot of activity-based learning. And that's one of the reasons we are avoiding the word teacher, tutor, and all this drama, right? Just talking about exam, you know, in the A-levels, I had only one B. I had a B for applied maths. And everyone thought I was very good. But actually, I only studied 3 questions. And fortunately, those 3 questions came, right? Out of the 4, you had to do 4. And I had 3 I studied, and 3 came, I got a B. If those 3 didn't come, I was a failure. That's how these exams are, right? It depends what you have studied. And so we, you know, have we got this 100% right now clear about how we are going to assess these people at the end of it? Not really, but we are almost there, and we can always share that with all of you as soon as we finish that. We are going to teach trust.
Yeah, Chidi, I think there's one thing that I think this happens in Jaffna as well. You know, there's Toastmasters Club.
Yeah.
I mean, they actually do quite a lot on this sphere of confidence building, speaking. You may want to talk with them in Jaffna.
Yeah. So that Toastmasters is a component of this that will happen on that Wednesday. You know, we are going to have the Wednesdays loose, right? But the thing, Jiva, and it's a challenge that I had, I'm sure you did, is sustainability, right? I can speak today, and then tomorrow I go and, you know, I had an English teacher in Jaffna where he comes in and he told me in Tamil, take the book out, English now 4th page, 4th question, and then we are learning English, right? So we have to keep them in this bubble for a period of time. Whether it is 9 months or 6 months is something we will know at the end of this course, the first year, and really keep them. And same thing with the Toastmasters, right? That will give a lot of confidence to these people. So we will bring that component. It's one of the pipes, in one of the pipes that will be there, one of the activity pipes.
Yeah. So, Sinna, an observation, a question from me is one of the things that I'm concerned about is the internship. Now, what you need to make sure, and I'm sure I'm telling you things you know already, is that when the young person goes into an internship, first thing is that the company that's taking them. So on this call, I can see Sajeev employs 50 plus people in Jaffna. Arnie Arnold employs 100 people in Jaffna. But when they take in an intern, it's actually going to be value subtracting for them. When they take the intern in, they're going to have to put more effort into the intern than they're going to get out of it. And that's, you know, these people will know it. The people who are in Jaffna, I think for every single one of them, it would have been easier for them to be somewhere else. So they're not in Jaffna because it's an easy place to do business. But you want the young person to feel success when they go into the internship, and the person on the people who are accepting the intern to feel that they're getting some value out of that. Now, the reason I asked you the question about professional training is that if you say Sajeev with Zebiro, which is a software IT services company, was going to accept an intern. So can I ask a question to Sajeev? What would you want if an intern from Flag Forum was coming to you? What would you want from that person?
So ours is a little different because we actually try to take people who have done a degree or an undergraduate, because we don't want to teach them technology once they come on board. So since our company is mostly technology based, so anyone we hire, we would want them to have the secondary education, higher level diploma, at minimum a diploma to a degree, and then only we take them as intern. So a question for Sinna as well, Bernard, is like, is there why the question was raised earlier as well, why A levels instead of going for someone who has graduated?
Sanjeev, we are agnostic. If the guy wants to come for one, as I explained, 9 months, full on, right? Whether it's graduate, I'm fine with it. We are fine with it, right? Because we will make him not only has gotten our graduate and education or academic qualification, but we will also have the other components that we thought or we said is missing among the youth here, right? So, of course, no problem, right? And so we are agnostic about it. Just going back to the type of person that you want to hire, if you hire someone with a technical ability, plus having a very strong personality, fantastic character, and proficient in English, I think it will be better for you, right? So that's a component we can give them, right? Because so many people, I mean, you see in Jaffna so many tuition, or not tuition, but post-school colleges, or what do you call this, tutories, right? And I interviewed a girl with, lovely person. She has done a degree, external English degree at Loyola College in India, cannot put a word of a sentence together. Lovely person. She should be a participant, right? But she can't speak proper. I mean, it's a complete lack of confidence. She's a lovely, lovely person. I'm still in touch with her. I'm sort of mentoring her what she needs to do and things like that. But she has spent so much money. So these are once a week or twice a week, 1 hour classes. She's doing it. She's passed it. She got the certificate. But if she comes to Colombo and face an interview in English, I'm telling you, she will not stand. Right? So it's a chicken and egg situation. Yeah.
So I'm just interrupting. Here would be next. But a very, very quick suggestion that, maybe you've already planned this. I'll have a session with people like Arnden Arnold. So Kurt in Australia, he has a small team, 5 people at the moment. He's planning to grow that. This self-confidence aspect, maybe Kurt's operation would accept an intern. This is something that really needs to be planned carefully because it can destroy the kid. Sometimes they'll go into a big company, they'll end up sweeping the warehouse, or they'll end up stapling documents and things. And this is all a high-risk area where I see it. But I'll pass you on to Thea.
So Jagan, just before you proceed on that, but today what is happening? So today a guy leaves O levels in Jaffna. What is happening?
I think exactly that. They're sweeping the warehouse.
He's doing exactly that, right? So if we can help him, and that's where the career guidance thing will. And I spoke to a lady at GTZ, right? And she so we are bringing all those things. We will bring all those things into it. So very quickly we'll get into this career and asking the kid what you want to do and give him as much all these 3 things, and top of that some kind of a guidance. Then he or she will be better off facing going into the employment or to the working work, right?
I mean, something that happened at my school, which was in the UK, probably you know it, in Wimbledon, is that they had an evening where people from different professions, so from a software company, from a back office company, from a retail company, they'd all come in and for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, because these kids, they have no idea what they want to do. So set something like that up. But Sinna, so let me give you to Thea because we have about another 5 or 10 minutes. If other people have questions, then can you prepare them and then we can do a couple more up here. So Thea, please.
So just a different perspective, Sinna. I think if you're only going to look at prospective employers, looking at what they can get out of this, the plot is probably going to be lost, right? I just want to share something which I got involved. One of the companies I have co-invested in, which is an AI-based business in Colombo. We have about 40 data scientists and engineers. But we picked a young kid, 21, 22 years, severely backward, could not even travel from Borlaskamua to Tibirigasaya on his own. He had to be accompanied by an adult. That was how back he was, right? Backward he was. Didn't study anything beyond, I think, grade 8 or 9. But we took the challenge because of somebody we knew in that family and said, it's not about what we can get out of for the AI business. We will take this challenge. And I had a personal chat with the staff. And we had, the guys are very busy with what they do, but about 4 or 5 of the young kids and the head of HR took it upon themselves and said, we will help out and we will rotate. And over the now, it's been about 7 months. The kid comes once a week, every Wednesday, just to get exposed to people. And I think after 6 months, if I look at the impact, now this kid can travel alone in a van from Borlaskamua to Tibirigasaya. That's the first point. The second point was when we had the Christmas party in December, for the first time, this kid led the, just before the carol service, the kid gave that initial couple of minutes of an introduction and a prayer before others. So it was not about AI or science or ABC. It was just building the confidence of the kid. And it was the fact that we were able to get half a dozen of the staff to volunteer while they were doing their own little thing. So it was a collaborative effort, a two-way process. It doesn't suit everybody's palate, right? But I think when you do this and engage corporates or potential companies, one needs to have a bit of a deep dive in seeing what you can get out and what the corporate is willing to do. So I think speaking to the entrepreneur or the key person in the company is also probably as important as anything else. Just my 2 cents. Thanks.
Thanks, yeah.
Okay, Kurt, you're on. You're muted, Kurt. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Sinna, like as Jagan said, we have a small team in Jaffna at Jagan's building, and we are open to take interns. And most importantly, the interns will benefit gaining confidence in speaking English because they will only speak with the Australian clients.
Right.
And all the inbound calls all go to Sri Lanka.
Right.
Our office calls, the support calls, and they speak to customers, and we will train them as well. So it has, in the last 3 years of our operation in Jaffna, the confidence level has gone up 100-fold for our team. They all speak in very good English, and with the emergence of AI, ChatGPT, and their written communication has also gone really high. So yeah, we are going to have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
And I think another thing that they learn if they work in an office like Kurt's place, they have to turn up on time. They have to dress properly. They have to, they'll be in an air-conditioned, nice office with friendly people, usually friendly people, with tea and all that kind of stuff, which is very different to what most of our school leavers go in Jaffna, which is you can see them working in shops on Stanley Road and on KKS Road. They can see something really nice to aspire to.
Just to give a bit of a sort of numbers point over there, we have 5 tutors or facilitators for 24 students, right? So that it's theoretically we are overstaffed. If you look at the classical classroom or something like that, because now I think there was a point made on internship. When they go to internship, these facilitators will be there for them, right, as a mentor as well, to making sure that these people's well-being. So we have divided the 5 facilitators, we have given them additional responsibility. So Alex, for example, is focused a lot on the curriculum and things like that. Then Tamuta is focused on the participants' well-being and things like that. Then we have Sugeta, who is Alex's wife, is the social media, the donor communication. Then the logistics is a guy called DJ. And then community reach projects is the lady called Nishara. They're all in their early to mid 20s to late 20s, right? So they, you know, it's the opportunity for the facilitator also to bring the organizational skills and things like that. And hopefully, you know, some of the experience I have had, I can part to them, and together with the 24 participants, we can improve and grow.
Okay, so unless there are any more questions, anything else to say, the one thing I'd say is to Sinna is definitely we need something like this. And in your second year will probably be very different to your first year from all the things that you learn and that people like us learn from that. And I hope that the lessons you learn will inform other people who start initiatives like this. You know, Unicorn is here, Neil, they're going to start something very soon themselves. And other people like Anand and Arnold, who's already doing this. He's been doing this for years, so he can help. And we all learn from what the Jaffna Club is for. So I'm very happy to see this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sinna. Thank you, everybody. So unless there's any other business, then now from London, I can say nearly lunchtime. But thank you from people who came from Canada, all the way Europe, Sri Lanka, and Kurt. It's looking very dark over there. Time to go to sleep. Thank you very much, everybody.
Let me also say, you know, my colleague, senior prefect, when I was a young boy, is Preman Rajendra. He's there. So he will tell us, he will know, he was, I call him Anna. So he's respect. Yeah. And all of you, so many people on this call have helped us. Thank you very much for everyone. Thank you. And all the comments are very valid, and we'll take all that into account.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks again.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.